What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Unleash podcast. We've got a little bit of a different one for you this week. We are doing table talk. But first, what happened last week, Maddie?
Last week, we were guests on our own show.
What?
I know.
Yeah, that was great.
It was great.
My favourite guest by far.
By far. I kind of loved it to the point where I didn't know if I was going to be back. Only as a guest.
Leave on a high, just never come back.
No, but so we were guests on our own show and it was great.
Yeah.
Our producer and 2IC produced.
Assistant to the producer.
Yes, assistant to the producer.
Love and like
They
it.
interviewed us and it was great. We played a little game.
Mm-hmm.
I would win in a zombie apocalypse. And we had our producer and assistant to the producer interview us, and you got to learn about why we are doing this, and a little bit about myself and Mark, and who we are and what we believe, and it was fun.
Yeah, bit of a get to know your host. Yeah.
So this week is a little bit diff. We do have some guests coming on in future weeks, but we thought we kind of stole this from Pastor Joel and the youth team, who are doing amazing things on Youth Online, so go check them out. They are Pastor Joel's sitting down with a few leaders at a time, or one at a time, and asking 3 questions each that the other person has not seen. So we thought, let's do that.
And let's do it better. What is your favourite sound?
Oh, a drum beat, for sure.
What kind of drum beat?
This is going to be really embarrassing, but I'm going to say it. So do you know when you go to parades?
Yeah.
And there's the town band?
Yeah.
Or wait, let's take it back. To Anzac Day, and you have the bagpipes.
Yeah.
I love the bagpipes, they make me teary-eyed.
Wow.
And followed by that drum, that one where they're pew! You know that one?
I do, but I don't think that's the sound it makes.
Yeah, so I love a drum beat. Pew! A drum beat is just it moves me.
I'm glad.
So what is your biggest pet peeve?
That's a good question. I think my biggest pet peeve is when you're walking past someone and you say hi to them and they act like you're not there. Just completely ignore you.
So rude people.
Yeah, I'm even okay. I'll take the head nod. I'll take that weird half smile. That
some type of acknowledgement.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But when they just keep walking like they didn't see you, not cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, be better.
Cool.
Okay, so this is a 2-part question. Part number 1, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Okay. Mine would be to read minds, because I've always been interested in how the brain works and stuff. So no, not how the brain works, but in behavioural analyst. So I've always wanted to study criminal behaviour of why do they do what they do, and what things in their past has transpired to make them who they are and why they think that way. So I'll go mind reading because I think it'll be really interesting. And I think it would be cool to pinpoint things back in people and experiences and their thoughts of why do they think like that.
That's interesting. I've never heard that answer before.
Really?
Yeah.
I think because my dream job, if I was to go, I know I'm young and I could still do it, but if I could do my schooling again, of how I am now, I would definitely study as hard as I could to get into a criminal behaviour analyst.
It's pretty cool. Well, it's not too late. But I'll get rid of the what is your dream job question. Alright, part number 2. If you could give everyone one superpower and you wouldn't have it, what would it be?
Ooh.
But you're not loving and encouraging.
No, but everyone's that to me.
If you could give everyone an ability that you wouldn't have, what would it be?
It would have, so cliche, but it would to be kind. And I know but they'll be kind to me, right? And then they'll be kind to each other and I'll be the odd one out.
Yeah, you're not kind to anyone.
You know what, I am just very sacrificial.
I was thinking
I'll
something
sacrifice myself for the world.
Wow. Amazing. I was thinking more of like I'd make everyone like really slow.
Okay.
Or like something like
So
that. And then I just
down.
win all the races.
Yeah.
And things like that. Or I'd make everyone really weak.
But like, is your goal to be the fastest person in the world or the strongest person in the world?
I just to be better than everyone is my goal.
Wow, total opposites. Wow. So you obviously didn't grow up in Nowra. You haven't always been at Celebration Church.
No.
You've moved down. We've heard a little bit about that last week. This is kind of a two-part answer as well.
Part A.
What is the best and hardest moment about leaving your life in Sydney and even making that choice to commit to Celebration Church?
The best and hardest moment?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the best thing about just committing to staying down here and being part of Celebration Church and kind of pouring my effort and I guess my heart into it was that I found that there was a sense of fulfillment and a sense of peace, I think, with it. So knowing that, okay, almost I guess defining what I'm about and what I want to be passionate about kind of got rid of all of the grey area of where am I going, what am I doing?
Right.
So then that kind of gave me direction. I think that was the best part of it. By making that decision, it gave me direction, it gave me clarity on what I want to do and where I want to pour my energy and my heart into.
And what about the hardest?
I guess the hardest part was, letting... I think the hardest part was letting go of, I guess, some of the ties I had in Sydney and realising, okay, I'm committing to here, so there's no going back.
Right.
Even if it's, I guess, just living 2 hours away from my family.
Yeah.
Like, I love my family, I love my parents. So now it's become I live down here and I visit them. It's no longer I'm here for a bit and I'll see you very often.
Yeah.
That's probably been the hardest part.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I've found family down here and I've worked really hard at making those connections in that community. So.
For sure. And I think off that, the train just left the station. So on that, I think you said that the best thing was you actually found purpose in doing it, where people probably think it's the total opposite of like going into an unknown situation and taking a risk. They probably think like it's not the first thought that I'm going to find a lot of direction in this, but the fact that you did and you found purpose within doing it, I think that's just a cool thought.
For sure. I had one person once tell me, like, you can either wade into the water and kind of get a taste for it and that kind of thing and slowly get deeper, or you can just dive in and then just get out if you don't like it. So I tend to try and dive in where I can and get out if I don't like it. But
when you go to the beach, do you just run in or do you slowly get in?
I try to run in.
Okay.
I try. It depends where I'm at mentally.
Yeah, I'm the same. See, I can like, there's some days I'm like, oh, Maddie, just do it, and I'll just run and jump. Or there's some days where I'm like, it'll take me literally half an hour. But in saying
I don't think I've ever taken that long. But I do the whole, you ever like run at it and then like, stick hold and then run back out.
In saying that though, if I go to the beach, I cannot be that person who gets in and out, in and out, in and out.
Oh really?
No, I can't do
Oh,
it.
that's me.
No.
Especially when it's like really hot.
If I'm in for like 2 hours and then I'm out and then I go home.
Well, no.
I'm not, like, I can't do it.
No, I'm like, I'll enjoy the sand and then overheat and be like, I need water. Run at the water, obviously. Get in the water, enjoy, cool off, and then be like, man, I miss the sun and the sand, and then go back and then dry off and then overheat again, and I just keep going.
Nah, I can't do it.
No, that's me. What do you believe is something that you're not good at, and how have you addressed that in your life?
Ooh. What do you think I'm not good at?
No comment.
Rude.
It's a trap.
It's a trap!
The first one that comes to mind is, I think, which I'm getting better, like it's something that I'm always working on.
Yeah.
I think it would be taking my emotions out of the situation. Because I think, for me, especially, I think I can put a lot of emotion into something or behind something or get really, like I think I'm a very passionate person. So with passion comes emotion. Like that's a high emotion. So
Yeah.
I think I can, let my emotions lead in certain situations. Not in everything, but in some things, and get like a bit like, and it's always something that I'm like, oh, how do you chill out, like relax?
Yeah.
It's all good.
For sure.
So I think that's one thing that I'm getting better at.
Awesome. And is that how are you getting better? I guess the part two was how are you addressing it? Is it just practice?
Yeah, and I think you need to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So I think there's seasons in life where maybe you are going through something where you are a bit more emotional, and you need to, like, I think sometimes we think like, I don't know, for girls, like we tend to be a more emotional being,
Sure.
and I think it can be a good thing and a bad thing. So I think sometimes we try to suppress it because we're not like those girls. Like I'm not like them. That
Drama.
yeah, dramatic and
Yeah.
very emotional. But I think for me, it's like I need to feel the feelings, but it's only for 24 hours. Like if I'm sad, it's like you have 24 hours to feel this, then you need to move on. Or if it's like in a more not so
Yeah.
serious context, it'd be like if someone's offended me, it'd be like you have a certain time frame to deal with this, then you need to move on. And obviously
that.
some things take longer, or you sit on it for a bit longer.
Yeah.
But those serious issues, you're like, why am I feeling like this? And you're allowed to question yourself, because you can't, like, you know you best, like what's going on inside. So I think you need to learn how you react and treat it as you know best to, and that can be really hard though.
Yeah. I like the idea of a time limit.
Yeah.
I think it's just so simple. Be like, okay, this is how long I'm allowed to have to let the emotions
Yeah.
play their role, and then it's done.
And that is really hard though. Like
Yeah.
for me, like I can hold on to not hold on to offense or hold on to negativity and emotion, but it can be like I always feel like sometimes I'm not anymore, but I feel like I need to say my piece. Like I need to let them know how I'm feeling, but you need to just learn to just be like, you know what,
Yeah.
just let it go.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you are proud to say that you have overcome?
Okay, cool. I think my answer for that is something I feel like I have overcome and am overcoming, and that would probably be a fear, I suppose, of public speaking.
Ooh.
I do not like public speaking.
Really?
I don't like getting in front of people and speaking at all.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So whether it's being back at high school and trying to do.
Were you captain?
No.
Were you prefect?
No.
Were you on the SRC or anything?
No.
Weird. In my head, you were captain or like, I don't know. Were you like, did you have houses in high school? Were you like a house leader?
No.
Lol.
Sorry to disappoint.
That is, wow, shook.
Yeah, I know. I did apply to be prefect, and then I declined it when they offered it to me.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a chat with one of my teachers, and they were like, you can't do these subjects and the responsibility of being a prefect at the same time. It's too much. And I said, okay, decline prefect.
What do prefects even do?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. Yeah, so that's something I feel like I'm definitely walking towards overcoming it. I do feel like I have, but even just like being at school and signing up for public speaking stuff that I hated doing.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history!
But just push myself a little bit, or even just getting different opportunities with church to get up and speak or share that kind of thing. I don't like it, but I'm trying to like it because I feel like that's something I need to be better at and might potentially play a role in
for sure.
what I'm to do. But yeah.
Well, you're really good at it.
Oh, thank you.
No, every time you get up, you seem so like cool, calm, and collected.
It takes a lot of
Are you
work
just
to
like-
get to that point. I'm dying on the inside.
Interesting.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how... Okay.
No, so ask it. What is it?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you?
Ooh. It depends what the definition of weird is.
Well, I'd like you to describe a moment where you were weird. To back up your
It's
score.
different to everyone, Mark.
So however you want to define it, go for it.
In this church.
In your life.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say 6.5, 7. Because let me explain. I'm surrounded by a bunch of introverts, so everything an extrovert does to an introvert is weird.
All introverts unite?
Actual though.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, like, there's one, okay, this is a weird thing I do, which I don't know if I should admit this, but I'm going to. Sometimes I like to shower in the dark. Is that weird?
Yes.
Is it?
No, I get it.
I've never thought of
I get it.
not flicking the light on.
No, I get it.
Sorry, explain.
I don't know, sometimes, and they're like long showers. I think they're like my processing showers. I just like being in the dark. Sometimes, I know this is really gross, I'm gonna get so judged for this. Sometimes I sit down in the shower.
I think that's fine. My issue
In the
is,
dark.
do you ever like, you know, when you shut your eyes while you're shampooing your hair or something, and you're just like scared that when you open your eyes, someone will be there, like a burglar or something?
I used to think that
And
when
then like that's just that's the constant state I'd be living in if my shower was like in the dark. What if there's someone there?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that.
That is weird. I agree.
Yeah,
Back to
that's
the
one.
introverts.
So I think a lot of what my burst of energy, I guess, is weird to people. Whether it's like singing really weird songs and dancing around, or just like doing a lot of weird hand actions is weird to people. Not weird to me. So I would say a 7.
Even just on that, I think that's probably the whole public speaking thing would come back to me being introverted. I think I'm very, very introverted naturally, and I think over time that is something I've had to learn how to be extroverted.
Yeah.
I think public speaking is part of that, being comfortable with people, being able to be around people without losing all of my energy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I have a song for you, Mark. It goes like this. Introvert, extrovert, doesn't matter.
Introvert, extrovert, doesn't matter.
Introvert, extrovert, it honestly doesn't matter. But
True.
it does play a part in people's lives. And you ought to respect that. Question. You are a Connect leader. We co-lead an amazing Connect. I think it's one of the best in the whole wide world.
For sure.
What is your favourite thing about leading young adults?
For me personally, it is, I guess, getting the chance to take the young adults that we lead through the stages of life that I've already gone through, and just showing them, even just using my own testimony and be like, this is how I did it, this is how I wouldn't do it, and this is, and just kind of, I guess, teaching through that and being there and walking them through it. So not just being like, here you go, this is how you do it, good luck, but actually walking them through what they're processing, what they're doing, and being able to speak life into that and speak God into that and speak their identity over them and remind them just how great they are.
That's good. And what do you miss about being with Connect?
I miss just having people in the same room. Even just playing games, playing card games, all doing that kind of stuff. There's something that you get from being face to face with someone that a Zoom chat or a FaceTime can't replace.
True.
So yeah, I think I just miss whatever that thing is. Adulting tip number 5.
This is how you never lose an important rock, paper, scissoring matchup. Always pick paper, no matter what. And tell everybody that you always pick paper no matter what. Then you have to lose every game for about 2 years. But then, on the important matchups, they'll think that you were saving not picking paper for an important rock, paper, scissoring session. So then you get to win with paper, and you'll get to be all smug. So, to summarize, paper never loses. Except for the first 2 years. And it's about 50-50 after that.
For you, Maddie, what, I guess, from being a leader and leading and mentoring other people, and from a position of you have your own leaders that you are learning from and chasing, I guess, what is one thing you've learned about yourself, or even just about being mentored or mentoring, that you found has kind of shaped who you are?
Shaped who I am. I don't know if there's one particular thing, but I think you learn about yourself. Like, I think one of the greatest things you can do as a person, and it's very rare, which is kind of weird, but is to actually know yourself. So like, do I know who Maddie is? Obviously I'm Maddie, and I'm the embodiment of Maddie. But like, do I know how I tick? Do I know what triggers me, or what I get offended at, or what I don't get offended at, or what injustices make me get mad, or what can people get away with? Like, and just learning who I am, and I think it's learning the things that God has given me, because I think we all are passionate about different things. Like, I'm really passionate about hanging out with people 24/7. Some people aren't passionate like that, and that's okay, I guess. But we're all different, so we have to go on this journey, and that's what it is, of learning who we are, why we are like that, what do we need to change, what don't we need to change, what do we need to get better at, blah 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 blah. So I think in leadership, it's more just I'm more and more learning who I am and being confident in that, and knowing like what I bring. So being in the middle, as you were saying, like mentored up, mentored down, you kind of learn, the people that are mentoring you can see, like, it's when you disciple someone, you have this a cool grace and ability to see 3 steps ahead.
Yeah. Especially
in people's lives that you're mentoring really closely, and a very honest mentor relationship. You see ahead in their life. You see how if they make certain decisions where it's going to lead, and that's where that trust comes in. Of, do we trust God? Do we trust our mentors? Do we trust the Holy Spirit guiding us?
Yeah.
So I think just comes back to honest mentorship.
Yeah.
Like when people actually ask, "How are you going?"
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like, this week was kind of hard, but it's like, what was hard about it? Like, let's have an honest convo.
Yeah.
And just learning to not be offended when they tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And being able to carry that and change it, or acknowledge it and take it to God, and then express that
Yeah.
to people I lead.
For sure. Yeah, I think being real is huge.
Mm.
Even just thinking back to whether it's just one-on-one catch-ups I've had with not necessarily people I'm mentoring or are mentoring me, but with other, I guess, men I have in my life, or whether it's with my leaders. I think thinking back, the most life-changing and impactful times were the ones that were like where you just dug real deep and got super real,
Yeah.
and tears were shed, kind of thing. Like that's, you look back and those were pitiful. Those were pivotal. Those were pivotal times, I think, in I guess my journey, in my development, and it's just, I guess even something I've learned is just don't be scared to be real.
Yeah. In saying
you
that,
don't need to have a facade on
no.
when you're with your mentor. Or,
No. In saying that, you do need to have the right mentor.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I
it's
think,
not just anyone pull
no.
the walls down.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think it's even that's a journey to find someone like that.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be opening up your whole life to every single person.
Yeah. But it's really easy to just be like, I'm done with this. I'm giving up on people.
Yeah.
I'm never being vulnerable again. Walls are staying up. Or I think it's very honourable and commendable to actually be like, no, I'm going to keep searching for someone that will lead me well, for someone that will carry me when I need it. And even just to flip that, to be that person for other people.
Yeah. Because we're going to let people down.
For real.
Even like in leadership settings, just in normal life settings, like we're going to let people down.
Yeah.
I'm probably offended a lot of people that I have no idea about,
Mm-hmm.
and they probably don't like me, and I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like that's
True.
we have,
And I
we
think-
have to be okay with
I think
that.
that brings it back to a thought I had earlier is Jesus doesn't let you down. So it's not just so that I think you said sandwich, or those levels of I'm being mentored and I'm mentoring, or I'm being discipled and I'm discipling. But ultimately, whatever level you're playing at, you need to be seeking Jesus and being discipled by Him and being mentored by Him, because He's the one that doesn't let you down. He's the one you can be unconditionally vulnerable with. Like, Paul says, follow me as I follow Christ. He doesn't say follow me as I follow Peter or, it's one of the other greats.
Yeah.
But he's being discipled by Jesus. He's seeking after Jesus. And he's saying, I'll mentor and disciple you while I'm in constant relationship and seeking after Jesus. And I think it's important for everyone to be doing that, not just to be seeking, a pastor or a leader that can mentor them, but to be like, okay, Jesus is the ultimate leader. He's the ultimate pastor. I'm chasing Him first and foremost.
Yeah.
My brain tends to go very physical, like how can I solve this problem? How can I, or even just who's mentoring who, blah, 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 this mind map kind of thing, and forgetting that I don't need to solve the problems. My job as a mentor for who I'm discipling is to point them to Jesus.
Yeah.
That's our job as Christians.
Yeah.
To point everyone to Jesus. But to be like, okay, you're struggling with this, let's go to Jesus. He's the Prince of Peace. Let's invite peace into this. And that kind of stuff. So not just to open up my hands and be like, I don't need to solve this. This isn't my problem. I'm not the hero. Jesus is the hero. He's the gracious one. He's the one that loves this person 1 billion times more than I ever could. He knows them 1 billion times better than I ever could.
Yeah.
Let's point them to Him. He's the hero, not me. I'm more of a facilitator. So just even to have that thought and not try and be so practical and mind map minded, I suppose.
Yeah. And it definitely comes down to when you realise that you're dealing with God's people. That's it's challenging.
But it's an honour.
It's an honour and it's heartbreaking, but it's the best feeling in the world. I think I've seen in your journey over the past 2 years of being here, you have committed to discipleship and mentorship, and you have, I feel like you've always been chasing those people in your life that you want to learn from and get inspired by.
Right.
So why do you do that, and how do you do that?
Good question. I do it because I am, I guess, not content and to be honest, a little uncomfortable with who I am. As in, I don't want to stay the way I am.
Right.
I want to get better. I want to get bigger. And so when I see traits and I see characteristics and just I see other men in my life that are being who I want to be and what I want to go into, I can't help but want to chase that so that I can be like them one day in a sense, I suppose. To see someone who is great and be like, how do I get from where I am to where they are? So I'll chase that. And I think it just comes back to being discontent and being uncomfortable. I think if you're comfortable and you're content, you'll just sit and you'll just do your day-to-day or whatever and never get better. But if there is that inner, I guess, wrestle to want to be better, and then you see traits in people that you want to have, you got to chase that and find out how to get that. How do I do it? I think it's just spending time with them, spending consistent time with them and asking them questions to almost just direct you. So asking good questions, spending time with them, and just doing life with them. So it doesn't need to be a once a month, 7 a.m. on a Monday morning, I'll take my notes, I'll ask you the questions I have prepared, and at 8 a.m. we're done, and I'll see you next month kind of thing. I think actually having that structured time does help, and being like, hey, let's catch up. But it's more than just, an interview or a Q&A and how do I get to where I need to be. But it's also you do life for them. Like, I will come help you garden kind of thing, or let's go shop for a TV for your new house, or things like that, where you're actually doing life together and you can learn from them just day-to-day life, and you can still have those discussions and ask those hard questions, and I think it kind of goes both ways. It shouldn't just be you asking questions to the person you're chasing, but when they ask you questions that make you think about yourself and help locate you, and then all of a sudden you see, okay, I've never seen that in me before, let's cultivate that, or I've never seen that in me before, let's get rid of it, kind of thing, to help fine-tune and prune who you are to become the man or woman you want to be.
And I think you have to commit to being honest.
Yeah.
Because I think Jade said it as well, with her mentorship, like, if you're not ready to be honest, there's no point of you being mentored.
Yeah.
Because it's all just, it's a facade. Because it's like we can fake it or pretend to be all these things on the outside and get mentored for it, but if we're not dealing with the root issues in our lives, then it's just going to get worse.
Sometimes you learn the easy way or you learn the hard way.
Yeah.
So being committed to being honest with yourself, and even just humbling yourself to the point where knowing I don't have all the answers, I don't know the solution.
Yeah.
Help me walk that journey, help me find those answers. And being willing to be wrong, I think is huge.
Yeah. But you're an advocate in supporting leadership and upholding and being a shield bearer for pastors, or our pastors and our leadership team. How do you do that?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
For me, I think the best way to do that is to be available. So to always be present, to be there to help, be there to support, whether it's practically, so actually physically being there and being like, oh man, you need this, I'll go get it for you. And I think even from that, to be a good listener, so to listen well and to get to know what their heart is and what their passion is. And then that way you can read between the lines and not just be like, I'm going to do what you ask me to do, but I'm going to do what I hear your heart wants and go above and beyond.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way of doing it. And then even from that, spiritually, to be covering them in prayer. So not just to be asking what do you need prayer for, but to actually, consciously be praying for them and believing for them and standing with them and just acknowledging that they're your leader. So whatever direction they wanted to go in, you're with them, you're by their side, and you trust them, and you're standing with them. Yeah, so I guess there's that practical, physical aspect. There's that, I guess, emotional heart kind of aspect. So you're actually listening, not just with your ears, but with your mind and with your heart. And then there's the spiritual. Maddie, tell me something that you believe is true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
What? I'm the best person in the world?
And no one agrees with you.
No?
Yeah, but it has to be something true.
It is true. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I think this was awesome. I think there was quality content shared. I think we'll definitely be doing more of table talks.
I love table talk.
Table talks? I don't know why I'm putting an S on the end of it. But even with like different guests, different people in, because I think as much as Young Adults is about the fun and adventure of life, I think this is the prime time to get good quality content and to better ourselves and to learn from different people and even our guests of how to do life better, or even learning from our mistakes and our challenges. So so we still have content coming. We're still powering on. I think this has been an awesome blessing for me. I hope it has for you. So thanks for watching. We love you guys.
We love you. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next week.